I only saw the what in all capital letters, and I was like, "What is it? Did I do something wrong?" And I saw Skeleseller claimed first. Whew, fastest fingers in the West. All right, well, hi, Oppressal. Hi, Sinicello. Let's get to work on this stuff. So, Ultra Shopping Spree. Casting Shopping Spree sells X random items regardless of where they are. Maybe it only pulls from the shop. Maybe it instructs customers to immediately go buy something. What would it take to make them immediately go buy something, I wonder? What are they doing mostly? I think they're in like a worker wander state. And then they figure out, yeah, I think I'd rather just sell stuff immediately. My phone is too slow for this. Hey, Galaxy Inferno. Okay, I'll see you soon, Prezel. I don't like this idea. I don't know about this, pulling from the shops specifically. I think it should just pull from the shops. Yeah. It actually makes me wonder, maybe like each customer should auto buy the shop item closest to them. Would that work? That might work. How about this? Let's just do this. Let's go to unhandled input and let's type page up in here and delete this and this and this and make customers auto buy stuff. So how are we going to do this? I'm going to just put this somewhere. It doesn't really matter because I'm probably going to refactor this anyway. So we're going to go through each customer. Node customer in get customers. Customers? Is that it? It's they're actual customers. Okay. I like making them just buy the closest item, even if it's nowhere near them. Well, maybe it should be close. Auto buy a thing. All right, so how's this gonna work? So find an item, find any item for sale within some range, and then buy it. So it's going to be probably similar to this. Yeah. So find any item for sale within some range. So how do we want to do that? Item, shop matching item category, all occupied item displays. What? Is this actually used somewhere? It isn't. Wow, what is this doing here? It gets all the shops and then, yeah, this is like get all occupied shop displays. Okay, let's do that, I guess. So I read only list item display, all occupied displays. Then we want to get maybe just the closest one. Closest display with item for sale. Display dot item. This is potentially, yeah. We know that it's occupied. So we know that its item has to exist. How do we know that it's occupied here? Has item. Yeah. So then we don't need to do that. Get closest display. Is there a way to check to see if it's held? It's not held, and what else? I don't know. That's pretty much it, right? And it's not floating toward the thing. Hey, Matt. I'm trying to make a new perk. I'm trying to see how this is going to work. All right, so what's going wrong here? Is this a function? It is. Hey, Chef Halton. So now what's the problem with this? Converting null literal? Yeah, so this. So we want to order by distance and then get the very first one. So this is going to be the closest one. Then I guess check to see if it's within a certain range. If the global position dot distance to this thing is a global position is greater than, I don't know, 200, then just return. And then buy from that thing. And then that becomes this. Purchase chance. There's no purchase chance. And it's only those, yeah. So if this is null, or if its distance is too great. Otherwise, do this stuff. Okay, let's try this out. Yeah, I'm kind of curious what this is going to look like. So when I press page up on my keyboard, it will force all customers to try to buy an item that's close to them, as long as it's in a shop. Type the wrong thing. All right, so we put these in the shops. All right, you ready? You ready, ready, ready? So now I press page up. And yeah, these customers are purchasing these things now from super far away. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I like that a lot. I think we should probably slow it down a little bit, but it's pretty nice. Yeah, cool. All right. Well, let's go code the rest of the ability. Hey, Meridia. Holy workers. Yeah, I put in a ton of workers because I wanted to see what would happen when these are in the shops. And for that, I don't feel like clicking them myself. So it's just easier to have the workers do it. So yeah, the way this works now is that customers will automatically purchase a thing from super far away. If I speed this up quite a lot and I get a lot of customers in here, they should just automatically purchase like everything all at once. Yeah. It'll be in the next couple hours. Time to grind tonight. Nice, nice, nice. You gonna change layouts too, or still use QWERTY? Yeah, nice. This is working. All right, I like this quite a lot. Yeah. Okay, so now we got to go finish making this. What's this called? Ultra shopping spree? Immediate purchases, maybe? Probably Dvorak, so the new muscle memory is built compared to QWERTY. I would just say to be careful about this, because I've actually been debating on going back to QWERTY. I want to at least give it a shot again. Because whenever I'm typing on a QWERTY keyboard, it just feels like I'm doing less thinking. And I more frequently get into a state where I'm trying to type out what I'm saying and I can't. I guess I should try to show that rather than just talk about it. Like, that went fine right up until the end where I messed up the spacing. But yeah, sometimes the words just don't come out. And maybe it's just more and more practice, but it's already been a couple of years now of using Colmac. So I feel like it's been long enough, right? Like, yeah. All right, what do we call this? Ultra shopping spree? I don't know about that. Maybe immediate shopping spree? Maybe shopping spree shouldn't be in the name. I think immediate purchasing is probably what it should be called. Or like fire sale or something. Gotta have it now. Impulse buy. Impulse buy. Impulse buy. Which is more common, impulse buy or impulse purchase? Impulse buy has 87,000 results versus 112,000. Impulse purchase. Impulse purchase or impulse buying. Maybe impulse buying is what we should call it. That's probably good. Yeah, impulse buying. Hey, Hans. Greetings to Germany. 10/10. Oh, flash sale. Yeah, that could also work. I like impulse buying, though. I think it's pretty nice. Yeah, switching back to QWERTY, I don't know if it'd be a long-term thing. And if I could just like flip a switch and do it, I would probably consider it. But I need to like go change my keyboard layout and reflash everything. And I just don't feel like doing any of that. But yeah, I'm kind of curious what it would feel like. It probably like super messed me up for a week or two. Hey, Karada, thank you very much. All right, so impulse buying. This is going to have one level, like how Farming Frenzy just had one level. So let's copy paste this over to here and rework that and delete that. This requires the enchanter. Yep. And the description, we don't need a bonus in here. And this is going to be shopping spree display name. And it's going to be the customer spell. And this is called impulse buying. Casting the shopping spree spell will cause all customers to immediately purchase a nearby item if they can. A nearby item from a shop if they can. Maybe just the, yeah, something like that. Okay, so there's impulse buying. So now we need to know if you have this ability to do this. So page up. Is it page up? It's there, yeah. Make customers auto buy stuff. We need to know that you've cast a spell from the enchanter. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Make customers impulse buy. So we should probably call it. So if player abilities dot has unlocked impulse buying. If they haven't unlocked it, just return. Otherwise, go through all the customers and force impulse buy. So this looks pretty good. This looks pretty good. This should be deleted. And the enchanter den should tell the outside world when you've cast a spell. Probably create a super basic QWERTY layout just to play around for a little. I think if I don't do this, it won't be rewarding getting a new keyboard, and it'll be more frustrating than fun, at least in the beginning. Yeah, I started with QWERTY. I didn't have any plans to change. I don't know if you've heard me say this before, but I think going from QWERTY to anything, it's worthwhile if you have strain, you're really slow, or you want to be able to type properly and don't already. So let's say you're typing at like 90 words per minute and it's mostly properly. I don't think you should switch. I don't think you're going to gain a lot by doing this. I don't think it's going to be worthwhile. If you have pain is a reason to switch for practically any realm that we're talking about. Like, yeah, if you have any sort of strain, maybe it's worth trying out. But yeah, otherwise, I think for most people, probably not going to have a huge benefit. Here's Aaron. I had my own QWERTY layer when I was trying to control Mac. Helps during the workday, yeah. Yeah, so my QWERTY speed was already pretty fast. I was already typing probably like 95% properly. Like every once in a while, I'd probably use the wrong pointer finger. And actually, some of the Alice keyboards layout have duplicated keys so that you don't have to worry about that. But if you look at a regular QWERTY keyboard, I should really just like have a picture that I can pull up. Can't even open this because of my pie hole. Okay, yeah, here. Like your right pointer finger is supposed to press H and your left one is supposed to press G. They're so, on some keyboards, they're so close that you just use one pointer finger for both sometimes. type around 90 to 95, depending on how much coffee, but I don't have bad mechanics when it comes to typing. My accuracy was pretty bad. Yeah, expect your accuracy to go down a bit if you are going to use the corn, because you're going to probably not know what's in which layers, where the keys are. And if you do have LEDs, that's why I highly recommend like color coding stuff with the LEDs if you can. So I can't demonstrate this because I broke the right half, but I set backspace and delete were red. So looking down at your keyboard, you're like, oh, the red key is the delete key. And then the other colors mean a little bit less. But yeah, green might be symbols, let's say, or numbers, or blue might be some other, whatever, just, choose your poison here. But at least red for deleting stuff helps you situate yourself quickly. So there is no cast spell. This calls into here. It's kind of weird that it calls back into here because we would have already known this, right? Oh, but you can cast a spell from many different ways. So this should probably be renamed to something like manually cast spell. Is that the only thing that calls this? No, it's not. This is like primary cast spell. Yeah. And then there's a cast random and access spell. Okay, like primary cast spell. I'm gonna clarify this. The primary in the function name means that this spell can trigger another spell being cast. What else do we have? I mean, it's this, right? Isn't this just cast a spell? This one randomly picks though? Okay. Hoping I won't have to buy another keyboard for a while. Yeah, it's really hard to say because the deeper you get into niche stuff, the more you realize that you've only scratched the surface sometimes. So if you end up liking this keyboard and you're like, but what if it had this feature or that feature or fewer keys or more keys or whatever, you might end up spending more money just to try to make things perfect, even if they're pretty good. That does happen to a lot of people in the keyboard hobby, I think. But yeah, if all you're concerned about is, let's say, typing accuracy or hand strain, you can solve those problems and then not necessarily spend more money. Like, I don't think I've bought another keyboard since this one. I've been pretty happy with it. All right, so on spellcast is here, and I want to pass this right on upward. But all we really care about is which spell did you cast? And this could just tell the town. I mean, I guess we did this for this right here. Let me think about this. Yeah, this is all town stuff. Okay, well then let's put this here. Let's say spell was cast. Invoke with the spell book. I don't even care about the spell book, do I? What else does a spell book have? What do I care about? I only care about the spell ID. Spell ID. Okay, so now go make this thing exist. Spell was cast takes in a spell ID. And then we get rid of this from here. And in the town, when we make the enchanter den, we listen for a couple of things. Why don't we listen to this stuff here? What? What listens for this? Auto casting tip does. Overlay visibility controller does. Auto casting tip. Okay. Well, I don't know. I'm going to put this here for now, I guess. Enchanter den dot spell was cast. Private void on enchanter den spell was cast. Spell ID. Spell ID. All right, so we paste this in here. Delete that stuff. And this. All right, not bad. So that's if the spell ID is the worker spell. If the spell ID is the customer spell, then we're going to do the impulse buying stuff. What's the name of the function? Impulse. There. And then this can move down to here as well and be made private. And I guess let's check for this too. And then delete it from here. I guess it's also simple enough that we could just, we don't need to make a function out of this. Nah, I think it's fine. Might have to create your own keyboard. You might, yeah. I had a cool 15 words per minute my first day on the Voyager. Glad that I stuck with it though. So much additional desk space. Yeah, that's another thing that's kind of nice. This takes up so little space. It's like you can see my hands are sort of larger than the keyboard itself. So if you put your hands together on your desk, it's like imagine only taking up that much space with your keyboard. I use a different keyboard for gaming, and it's a full size keyboard with a numpad. And I have to position it off of this desk mat, this black mat that you see here. And every once in a while, it's so close to my mouse that I accidentally bump the mouse against the keyboard and it presses one of the buttons on the side of the mouse and then causes me to do something bad in the game. And I'm like, okay, I guess I got to drag my keyboard even farther to the side. All right, I think all this stuff should be working. How do I test this? We don't have an easy way of giving this perk, so I got to go unlock it and the enchanter. What's it called? Impulse buying? Am I playing World of Warcraft? That mouse is an MMO mouse. So I use this. I've been using an MMO style mouse for a very long time now, like probably 15 years. And I mostly use it for the operating system. So I've done this sort of demo a lot of times, but with just my hands on the mouse, I move windows around. I switch between tabs. I can close tabs from this. I could actually like navigate the text. So I can use the arrow keys here. I could delete stuff. I can press enter or space. There's a whole lot of stuff I have on this mouse, and I find it very helpful for that. The mouse I had a very long time ago was called the War Mouse, which is probably the wackiest looking mouse you'll have ever seen. It doesn't exist anymore, but it had, what is that, 8 buttons on each half of the top of the mouse and then a joystick on the side. This thing was not that windy. And I went from that to the Cyborg MMO7. Everyone says this one looks like a transformer. This was surprisingly usable. I like this mouse quite a lot. It had an adjustable palm rest here. That didn't really matter. This dial you could actually spin. So I had it set to home and end, which on a dial is something that was actually pretty convenient. It had this little thumb nub here that had 4 directions, a thumb key here that was really easy to press, and then these were pretty nice. I like this mouse a lot. I thought this was pretty good, and I thought it looked pretty cool. But I don't think this exists anymore, or if it does, it's not very popular. G600 got deleted. Why must they remove the mice that I like? I don't have any easy to reach tilde key right now. At the time, I was working on a Linux-based control processor platform, and I wanted to die. Had to impulse buy a full keyboard. Just so you know, anything you find hard to use on the corn, or when you have a small number of keys, consider using text expansions for. So as an example, if I want to type an E with an acute accent, I don't have an easy way of doing that anymore. So I type 'E/, and it turns it into that. And same thing with arrows and emojis and whatever else I might want to type. These are nice because then you can just use the quick English typing you have to type out anything extra that you might want. Looks like a futuristic grenade. It does. I missed the War Mouse meta. I thought that was pretty nice. Also, back then, I had a key-bounded double-click. That was surprisingly useful. I know you can just set your computer so that you don't need a double-click, but then it's hard to differentiate between the two. Opening my eyes to another realm. Well, the text expansion thing is really, really helpful. I do that quite a lot. And it's even for things I type often, like Skeleseller. I just type 3 characters, and it turns into Skeleseller. If I want the website, another 3 characters, and I've got the whole website. If I want my like Twitch name or my Discord link or anything like that, I've got all this stuff on text expansions. So it's pretty nice for just typing things out, or like speed up a YouTube video. It's like, oh, look, I'm not going to remember that. All right. I keep saying I'm going to test this and then I don't test this. So let's go test this. Did I delete it from... No, I never had it there. All right, unfortunately, I never made this easy for myself. We need to... You know what? Maybe I should just give myself infinite rerolls when I do this. There it is. Wow, look at that. Impulse buying. This requires the Enchanter's End. Casting shopping spree will cause all customers to immediately purchase a nearby item from a shop if they can. Okay, so let's go get the Enchanter's Den. There it is. And now let's get some items in the shops. So there are a couple. And I'm going to click Shopping Spree. And it doesn't buy anything because I don't have the perk. But now I'm going to get the perk. And there it is. And now I got to wait for this to run out. Yeah. Okay, so now we get some items in the shops again. Let's put this up here, this up here, this over here. Some bows. Okay, now I'm going to click this. And yeah, we saw 3 items get sold. Nice. All right. Hey, Wolf. And hey, Cuttlefish. Is that editor-based or OS? It's OS. So you install it, and on your entire operating system, you can use it. So if I type that same thing over here, or a sunglasses emoji, or a puke emoji. Okay, well, that one doesn't work for some reason. Clown emoji. Yeah, so it works everywhere, which is nice because every once in a while you want it in a slightly different program, or you're typing a message to somebody. Like in Discord, there are a lot of things that I type often enough. Maybe even just individual words like organization. I just type 2 characters and it types out organization or technology or infrastructure or environment variables. That's a good one. How'd you like to cut that down to 4 characters? Looks good. We could probably trim down this code. I'll take a look at that, but I think that's all we have as something to look at, right? Yeah, that's it. So customer, let's go take a look at this. How can we make this look a little bit better? And display dot global position distance to global position less than or equal to 200. So we can delete that. Oh, wait. Whoops. That there. Okay, so what are we going to say? Constant distance threshold. Problem is, I don't know what 200 looks like. I guess I know how big the tiles are. So 200 divided by 16 is 12.5. So it's 12.5 tiles. A circle of radius 12.5 tiles. Unfortunately, I still don't know what that looks like. Let's take a look at that. So 1, 2, oh God, it's hard to count this. Oh, let's count it from the background. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Something like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think it's fine. I did test it earlier. I just wanted to see what this works out to be. In fact, I wonder if we should actually just do it based on tile size. Constants, tile size in pixels times 12.5. Sure. Although that looks a little awkward. Let's just set it to 13 at that point. And now it's a float. Okay. Add impulse buying perk. I'm just waiting for this to get highlighted correctly, just to see if I messed anything up in the process. It's taking sweet time. Maybe I need to switch away from it and come back. There we go. Yeah, I looked through this a couple times already. I think we made this slightly nicer. Okay. All right, we got one more perk in the game. Next up is loot duplication. When using loot magnet, duplicate X items in the warehouse or on the ground. How do I want to do this? Duplicate X items in the warehouse, because there might not be space for them. What if we like forced it to create a stack? I think we could do that. I want to try this. Yeah, I want to try this out. All right, so we add an unhandled input here. And I'm going to just say, give me an item in the warehouse. So how do we do that? Isn't there like an occupy? There it is. I finally found this. Whoa, what is this thing? What is this? Where's the where's the explanation for why this mouse looks so weird? Shouldn't it be like at the top of the page? Huh. Does it have a shift button? What is this? What is it doing? I don't understand. How does it turn it into a joystick? What does that even mean? It's just you just don't use it as a mouse anymore? That doesn't make it a joystick. Couldn't you just not move your mouse on your desk? I guess it hides the optical sensor. Okay. That's funny. I guess I understand why. I want to see what this image is. Do they have a shift key? I don't see one here. Because if they do, I would consider actually getting something like this. Hey, boss. It's got lots of buttons, including like press to hold stuff. Really? That sounds pretty interesting. I just want there to be a shift button, though. I'll need to look into this later. $200 for a mouse, though. God, that's crazy. Designated Canva button. I'm going to set everything to the Canva button. Look into this mouse. Also, hey, Blueberry King. I don't mind goofy builds. And my mouse is working right now, but I don't expect it to last for more than another year or two. And then I don't know what to do. I guess hope that the market will have furnished a better mouse by then. Hope you're well. I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing, Blueberry King? What was I working on? No, I am not paying attention to anything anymore. All right, here. Oh, that's not it. Get all occupied. Get occupied items place. Here we go. True. So I want to just get the first one of these, first or default. It has a gyro so you can tilt to do stuff. Who needs that? Who needs that in a mouse? Like, I think some of that's a little bit goofy. Also, what does that mean? Tilt to do it? Like you're lifting the mouse slightly off of one side? Is that even comfortable? It's not like an ergonomic action. They showed it in Siege. Tilt to peek with your scope. I think that's a big gimmick. But hey, don't knock it till you try it, right? Maybe it's the best thing in the world. All right, so I want to do item display dot item dot quantity plus plus. Does this work? It probably doesn't. It does. Oh. Oh. Then maybe this is what we do. Maybe this is the only way you get item stacking in the warehouse. Although you wouldn't be able to process them from the shop. So I'm just going to go into story mode here. This should work. Now I give myself the warehouse. I put an item in there and then I press page up. And yeah. And now oh, it stops at 3. No, it just breaks at 3. Because I'm just doing quantity plus plus and it doesn't know where 4 is. Throw if greater than. That's supposed to say throw if equal to. Wait. No. No, that's correct. Because it's the value, not the quantity. Okay. Sure. Whatever. If this thing's quantity, oh, there's a lot max stack size thing. Wow, nice. This knows everything. Except for there is no max stack size there. Where does that come from? Max quantity? Is this just a public const? Yes, it is. Merge with the previous one. Yeah, sure. I'll do that later. Hey, Chris. It's going well. I'm adding some content. I played the game yesterday. I was like, you know what? Let me try whatever I've already done. And I was thinking, this is pretty fun. This is nice. But I shouldn't get ahead of myself because I've said that before and then it turned out to not be fun. So it's sustained fun is what we're looking for. All right, so now we get the warehouse again, which I guess means we go into regular mode and not whatever I was doing. And we press this button. It shouldn't cause any problems. Good. And then I do this and this and this. Yeah, so this is kind of interesting. I think we would need more ways of you duplicating items if that's what we're going to allow. Oh, interesting. Yeah, we only have item stacking working globally. So if you can stack them in the warehouse, then you stack them in the shops as well. I wonder if I should do this now. Could just increase the quantity on items in the warehouse. If we don't want stuff to drop on the ground. Does this work with treasure? It should. Yeah. So there are 3 of those. The golem right now is level 1. So that should immediately put them to level 3. Does that work? It does. Oh, cool. Join the Obsidian Legion? What? I already use Obsidian if that's what you're talking about. I have it open right now. I didn't know there was a Legion I could join though. Shop specific item stacking. So right now it's a question of, can a worker pick up all of the items? And the answer is always yes. That must be the answer. Pick up item. Oh man. Yeah. In the Obsidian Legion, we use Obsidian for everything. I see. I guess I can't join the Legion then. All right, I'm torn on this. I like this idea. I like the idea of having 2 levels for it as well. I think it's going to be a lot of coding, and I think it's going to be... All right, well, we could just handle this separately, I suppose. Let me write something down. Note, we wouldn't be allowing stacking in the warehouse or for workers. So only the destinations would be modified. So I think we should not code this as just increasing the quantity of an item. I think that'd be a bad idea. All right, so how do you duplicate an item then? Rather than doing this, we say item display dot item. Is there a clone in here? No. How do you create an item in the first place? Like so. Oh, that's easy. Oh, well, then I guess I'll just do that. Item dot create this thing's ID. And the quantity we can just say is 1. So this will make the item, but it won't do anything with it. Duplicated equals this. So now what we could try to do is we could say add item. No, there's no add item. Grant item. Grant items. Here it is. How's this work? It just tries to put things in that can be put in, but it doesn't drop them on the ground. So this would not be responsible for this. So what we'd do is we'd say something like warehouse, fetch me the items we want to duplicate, and then town, add them to the town. But they'd come out of the portal. I don't really like this idea very much. Yeah, I don't really like this. Okay, I have a better idea, maybe. Let me write this down though. Not sure I like duplication because it may be slightly confusing where the items are coming from. Maybe it should be that we create items from the portal for you. Maybe even the same items every time. Like, what if you click the loop magnet spell and we give you a bunch of golden swords and the swords are worth 10 gold? I don't know. We have to come up with an amount. I guess it pretty much means that every time you click the button, you're getting money. And that's potentially... Well, it's potentially fine, isn't it? Huh. I think whatever we do, we should only give you one item so that it's not a burden to sell it. But the whole point of loot magnet is to give you a lot of loot. So then, no, that violates that. So we should give you one of each kind of item, an armor, a potion. What if we gave you one of every kind of item? One crop, one armor, one weapon, one potion, one guild supply. Okay, I kind of like that. Yeah, I kind of like that. Okay, that's pretty neat. Let's go take a look at what that would be. So I guess just delete all this code. I'll just comment it out for now in case I want it again. Go to unhandled input, close out of that stuff, type in page up, go delete this, and say grant one of each item. Cool. Now we go to this. All right, there is a question that I did not answer, which is how are we determining which one of each kind of item do we give you? Like, we don't want to give you trash, right? Maybe we always give you sort of a middle of the road item. I guess there are a bunch of options we could have. Option 1 is totally randomize the items we give you. Option 2 is always give you a sort of middle ground item. Option 3 is base the item we give you on which ones you've seen already. Okay, I think I like this. Yeah, just random within non-rare items you've seen. So it could generate valuable stuff and it can generate trash, but it's not guaranteed to generate trash. And if you've only ever seen trash, then it won't generate a valuable thing. Yes, so that sounds like a good idea. So to do grant one weapon, potion, armor, crop, and guild supply. The sellable items should be based on items you've seen already. All right, so how do we do this? So we need to make a loot object. Loot equals new. Does this take anything? It takes items and quantities. But we could call add item and add them individually. Yeah. So then some people will only see trash? In some cases, yes. So the way it's going to work is if all you've ever done is beat the forest, this only drops small blue potions, then you'll only see a small blue potion. But if you've beaten the forest, the volcano, the jungle, now you'll add the yellow potions and you'll add the big life potions into the mix. So you could get any one of those three. And it basically works that it's like small, medium, large. So if you get the large one, you win. If you get the medium one, that's not too bad. If you get the small one, too bad. That's what I mean by trash and changing this up. How's the hamster doing, Leap Your Girl? All right, so we're going to call add item on this. So loot.add item. And we pass in an item ID and a potential quantity. Item ID dot. Let's just, how about this? Let's start with some hard-coded items. You know what? Actually, we can just make this be whatever, right? It doesn't even matter. So one of that, one of this. Let's just type sword and get whatever shows up. Spike sword, sure. Let's get some armor and get whatever shows up. Knight armor. Let's give it a pumpkin. And let's give it a golem shard. Where's the golem thing? Shard? There it is. And then call add items loot portal position. All right, let's try that. So this is going to give us 5 items, but they're not randomized at all. And it's just whenever I press page up on my keyboard. Nice. So we got a sword, a potion, an armor, a pumpkin, and a rock shard. I like this. I like this a lot. I think this is such a cool idea. Now let's randomize them based on what you've seen. So we have a seen items tracker. And this has a way... Oh, there it is. So I want a function that gets me a sellable item of a particular category. Item ID get random non-rare item of type. Item category. So how do we do this? Oh, that's actually pretty good, huh? Where the item ID is not rare and is of the right category. And then it's already 2 lists, so we could just sample this. And it might technically not exist, so we have to do that. Return this dot sample 1. What happens if... Can sample return null? It can return a list of nothing, which I guess then is get first... No, you can't do that. How do you do this? Otherwise just null, I guess. No, that doesn't make any sense. What am I doing here? This is going to be a read-only list of item ID. What are we doing? Random item equals that. It's actually technically random items. I guess I'll just make this a list, right? Valid items. And then return valid items.count is 0. Otherwise sample. Yeah, perfect. Rufus. Still quite scared of me. Yesterday I tried to give him a piece of cucumber by hand. He hesitated, took a small nibble, then ran away. It seems to get slightly better. Some moments he doesn't run away. Yeah, I think with more feeding and more like, I don't know, the animal not feeling stressed out, I think he'll probably warm up to you. Our cat is just like completely trusting of us. If I were to like approach my cat head on and then just step over her, she probably wouldn't even move. And just imagine how terrifying that would be if something gigantic was barreling toward you and goes to step over you. Wouldn't you flinch or something? Mine would do the camel thing. The camel thing? Are you talking about where the cat like arches her back and kind of like sidles away? Because that is pretty funny. All right, so I got to do this. So loot.add item. I guess we just want one for each category, right? Do we have the categories anywhere? For each item category in potion, armor, weapon. Get random non-rare item. Oh, this can't return this way, huh? Okay, fine. This will just be item ID.none. So we don't do this. We do it this way. Man, I feel like the AI autocomplete has gotten a lot better somehow. I don't know how. So now we don't need the potion, sword, or armor. And what's the problem here? There's no target type. Yeah, that's too bad. Yeah. Do I ever write this out anywhere else? Item category dot potion. I don't know why I would do this, but maybe I've done it already somewhere. No, it doesn't look like it. Kind of surprised by that. Huh. Oh, there they are. Shop item categories. Well. Signs. It's in signs for some reason. Okay, now what's the problem? Now we need a random adventurer item. Hey, Dark. And it's just take a bit longer to tame than cats. I wonder how long it generally takes. Because even with our cat, I wouldn't say it was super fast. We did slowly see her start to become more comfortable with a lot of different things. Hey, typical. Oh man, that's a far cry from the $40 you told me the other day. But I hope you like it. Man, the number of people who've gotten corn or corn-esque keyboards based on this stream, or at least from the stream, has been pretty high. I hope everyone enjoys them. All right, so treasure chests figure out which guild supply we need to give them. Hey, Eng. How's it going? Sponsorship would be huge. Except for there's no company to sponsor them. It'd have to be like a, I guess, a keyboard distributor. I could have just made them myself. Put a Skeleseller logo on the bottom. Everyone's LEDs break. All right, how's this work? Valid item IDs. If it's challenge mode, get them for every character. Otherwise, get them for just those characters. If it's 0, return. Otherwise, get the item type. How long will it take to use to? The way I've said this before is if you're just typing English, or at least you're just starting to type English, it'll be probably less than a week. But if you're doing any coding, it'll probably be 1 to 3 months. And this is assuming you don't change layouts. So assuming you go from QWERTY to QWERTY. But yeah, coding is it's definitely a lot more to get used to. Because if I were to just type out the symbols that are on my keyboard, it looks like that. And actually, this is technically a triple backtick. And let me make this look a little bit better by doing this. Yeah. So these are the keys that I have on my keyboard. There's really not too much rhyme or reason to this. Like there kind of sort of is. I try to put the unshifted character next to the shifted character. I try to put opening and closing things next to each other. But yeah, how do you know that this key is the parenthesis key and not this one? Coding is painful. Piano instead. Yeah. What you got to do. Buy a piano, code on it. You're good to go. All right, so I need this function to exist somewhere. Also, what does get valid item IDs do? What is this? What makes it valid? What? We go through each class, we get the data, we get their guild supply, and if drop items doesn't contain this already, then add it. Oh, I see. So all I really care about is, I guess, just this. Yeah, fine. All right, I'll do this myself, I guess. Where does that come from? Oh, come on. Oh, man. We just get all the adventure classes so that we can get all the items. Item data. I should change that. Yeah, I should probably change that. There's no other function in here. Oh, there it is. Get all guild supply item IDs. Why is this? Where is this called from? The warehouse? Seriously? Shouldn't I be calling this from whatever I was just looking at? This? Does this know how to work with No, it doesn't. Okay. So yeah, we should change this. Let's put this over here. So this gives us a hash set. Why a hash set, I wonder? Why a hash set indeed? Why do I do this? Because don't I presumably randomize from here? Yes, I do. I don't like that. Hey, Gasta. OOM, what does that mean? In EverQuest means out of mana. What does that mean? Huh. I can't think of what that would mean. I've heard of out of mana before, but obviously that isn't fitting here. Maybe Gasta is out of mana. Maybe Gasta never had mana to begin with. Okay, so how do I want to change this? All item data dot get this dot to list dot sample. So we're gonna add one of these. Item ID. I honestly don't know what you're trying to say, by the way. I know it sounded like a joke, but I don't know what that means. All right, and then we need delete that. So this is going to be the guild item ID or like the adventurer item ID. Cool. Oh, well, some part of that messed up. Gaston, let me ask you something. What is the purpose of you sharing that chat message? Because I am curious about the intention behind it. Because I fill in my own blanks and it's probably more negative than you might mean it. And that's why I want to understand, is this a good faith thing, a bad faith thing? Because I've seen this from very few chatters, I would say. It won't always trigger. Seems strange. Yeah, there are definitely quirks with the software. Okay, so what are we missing here? Just the usage of this from the treasure chest class. And this works slightly differently. We get valid values of this. Oh, hey, Potrel. Thanks for the resub. I don't know why that doesn't make a sound for me. But yeah, happy 17 months. Okay, so these are items that you don't... I guess I'll write this here. Valid in the function name means ones that aren't already in the chest. I think such a large class is difficult to maintain and modify. No, I agree with that. I guess what I'm saying is like you said this in chat to me or to other chatters. Like, why? Presumably that's more than just express an opinion, right? Is it to get me to change it? Is it to like I said, I do want to understand the motivation behind this. Because I take it in a bad way. Let me put it that way. And I think I want to start putting my foot down on this stuff because there's, as I kind of mentioned, there's a pattern of people in chat who kind of only say negative things. And to be honest, you're one of them. Like, I'm kind of sick of it. And that's why I want to understand, like, is there something more to it than this? Like, Do you think I don't know that? Is it to try to help? Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. But yeah, I've seen this play out a lot of times. Adam's cracking down on the negative chat. No, it's okay. I want to make this clear because it's always very weird to talk about like as something is playing out. This does not represent a tonal shift in the stream. I think there have been people in chat who I see their name, I see it combined with a message, and I'm like, uh-oh, this again. And I don't want to feel that way because I'm trying to make a game here, right? It's not like this is a public forum or something where I'm a government and I have to take opinions from the citizens or something. It's like, I'm just trying to do my own thing. And if at the end of the day I don't feel good about doing that thing, then I need to change what I'm doing. And that's kind of what I'm getting at here. Shall we claim my joke? No, it's fine. I'm sorry. I don't mean to make everybody tense. I like you, code, but personally I try to split. Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's fine. Yeah. And I think there's a way to share an opinion that can come off as criticism that doesn't make it sound as pointed. So I would just say try to be mindful of that, Gasta. Because like I said, this isn't the first time. And I could probably like pull up your chat history and point out other ways. But if just telling you, hey, be mindful of it is enough, then I'd like to leave it at that. What an interesting time to unmute. I feel like I'm very different most of the time. Such that people are all like, uh-oh, what's Adam talking about? Okay, so this is the particular bit that I want. We pass in the classes to then get their guild IDs. I don't think I'm going to change this. I think we're going to leave that as is and keep this as is. And then the only question is, how do we randomize the crop? And I think we already have something that randomizes this. Crop data. How do we know what we can give you? The farm grows something. We have like a plant seed, I think. Get random crop. Oh, there it is. And it's based on player abilities. We have the list of crops right here, I guess. We'll just get that. Farming crop variety. Okay, so item ID, crop ID equals farming crop variety crops. What is this? A list? Okay, so we can just sample that list. All right, and there is our code. I don't know why that is red. Cannot convert from crop. Oh, crops aren't items. Whoops. Whoops, indeed. We somehow convert to an item, though. I guess crop data knows how to do that. Ah, there it is. Item ID. Okay, easy. Easy peasy. So this is technically a crop ID. And then we have a crop item ID that we get by doing all crop data dot get. And now I think we should be good. Okay, so let's go try this out. Were you ever a Vim or NeoVim person? I used Vim as a main editor for maybe like a month or so. And I really like the ideas of Vim a lot. I hated the idea of a Vim RC file, or at least the language they used. I don't even know what the language was. And I wanted more functionality. So if you don't like Vim and you want more functionality, you basically need to modify your Vim RC file. Or nowadays, there's a lot of different flavors of Vim. So it was basically like, I liked the editing, I liked motions and the modes and the keys that they chose to use for things. I thought that was all nice. Now, I know you can have Vim key bindings for other editors, but at that point, I just thought, I'll just do what I'm doing. So, yeah, I do like Vim. Do we have the perk chuck in the game now? We've got a decent amount of perks that we've added in the last like couple days, I guess. NeoVim uses Lua. I'm not a huge fan of Lua, but I think at least it's a more usable language than whatever a VimRC was. I think Vim is or was the name of a cleaning thing here. Yeah, Vim is, I think it technically stands for VI improved, and I don't know what VI stands for. I think it was just the name of the text editor. But it's a text editor with a very different way of thinking about stuff. Like if I were to sit you down in front of this and I was like, hey, why don't you type out a sentence? You'd be like, hello, how are you? And you type out a sentence. In Vim, if you were to do that, it'd probably seemingly do a bunch of random stuff because you wouldn't even be in typing mode. You need to first press I and then you'd be in insert mode and then you could type out hello, how are you? And then you need to leave insert mode. So there's much more to it than that. It's a very brief intro of what Vim is. Can we have an editor showdown? I don't think I don't want to switch really. I feel like I'm pretty productive in VS Code, and that's all that really matters to me. Well, I guess it's not all that matters, but nothing else is rubbing me the wrong way or anything. Like, let's say it costs $100 a day to use, I probably wouldn't use it. Okay, so that's a bug. I didn't even know that could happen. Doesn't that mean you could spawn 2 of these? I should probably just take a picture of this. I'm gonna just write this down over here somewhere. Right here. Small bug. If you have a story mode save file, but no challenge mode save file, and click story mode, challenge mode, you'll see 2 dialogues. Yeah. You wouldn't exit Vim, it's impossible. VI was a command to switch to VI's predecessor's visual mode, apparently. Oh, huh. Did I actually get this working? Have I tried this? Yeah. I still haven't loaded this. Man, I'm losing my train of thought so quickly. That is not good. All right, so I'm going to press page up and 5 items are going to fly out. No, wait. No, 2 items are going to fly out. Yeah. A random crop, which we can drag here, and a random guild supply. And the reason it was only 2, and I can keep doing this, I should eventually see a carrot. Yeah, there's a carrot. Anyway, the reason it's only 2 is because I haven't seen any other items. So if I were to click grant items, it will mark all of these as seen. And now, let's speed this up so I can just get rid of these. Now it will spawn 5 items. Yes. Yeah, that was 5. Took me a while to count that. And if I get more items, so let's say I do this and then speed this up. So now it'll generate random ones out of the pool of everything I've seen. So I should see a different potion from the small blue one. Yep, there we go. There's a big blue one. There's a big red one. There's a small blue one. I think we only have like 4 potions. So I don't think we can show very many. All right, cool. Okay, so now we got to go code this into the game. I did this in kind of a cheating way. So let's go to ability ID and add another ability. What are we calling this? What are we calling this? It's not loot duplication anymore. Loot explosion. Not really explosion, just 5 items. Loot cornucopia. Kind of like that. What's the official definition of cornucopia? A symbol of plenty consisting of a goat's horn overflowing in flowers, fruit, and corn. Loot drop. I want something that's more flavorful, but I'm not sure what. You're getting 5 items. You're getting a crop, a guild supply, a potion, a weapon, and an armor. Maybe like loot fountain. It's not really a fountain. This is happening from loot magnet, so maybe we could do it something based on The concept of a magnet. Like, yeah, I actually kind of like instant loot or instant gratification. Instant loot. I like instant loot. Let's go with instant loot for now. So yeah, quintessence or something that plays on 5 could be interesting, except for if I eventually change it from 5 items. If we add in like jewelry items and then we give 6, and then we're like, oh drat, the cleverness is lost. I just realized I can make pixel art assets without AI and asset packs from simple drawings. That just leaves the music. Nice, nice, nice. Well, and you already started working on music stuff. I bet if you toyed around with that for a while longer, you'd get something you're pretty happy with. All right, so we're gonna call this instant loot. And it's gonna be that. And how many levels of this should there be? Probably just one. Yeah, probably just one. So I guess it's gonna be pretty similar to impulse buying. Say this is instant loot. I am so glad we're doing this. I think it's such a cool idea. All right, so this is called loot magnet display name. This changes to instant loot. So casting the loot magnet spell will instantaneously spawn several items from the portal. Can we make this clearer? Maybe I could say like a weapon, a potion, an armor. Although it's only these things if you've seen them before. A crop and a guild supply. I don't think I want to do that. But I don't think it's going to be obvious to you where this stuff came from. So I think we kind of need to say. And it's got to be based on you having seen these items before. Although we could bail out and have you get a cheapo item if you've never seen any items of that type before. I should probably do that, shouldn't I? So if the random item is equal to none, then we should give it a cheapo item in that category. But it's got to be a cheapo item that we curate. Yeah, so I got to make like a dictionary here. Item category, item ID, fallback items equals new item category dot potion is going to be the small blue potion. And then it should not have filled in the rest. It didn't. That's okay. This is going to be a hooded cloak. Is that what you get? What do you get when you click this button? Hooded cloak, and the other one is just bow. Yeah, there. So there are our fallbacks. And now if it is none, and this is an item ID. Okay, so item ID equals if it's none, then get the fallback item. Otherwise, do that, and then add the item. Now it's guaranteed to work. And now let's go try it. Day 782 squared 2.15 of asking. When we upload the town hall song. Number 2. So, I mean, I can upload the individual ones if you just want to listen to them to Discord or something. But I will probably put the OST online at some point. It's guaranteed to should work. I agree. That's the beauty of should work. Oh, this is probably stupid. I should load the game because that way I actually have the perk. I don't have the perk. Oh, God. What have I done? We don't even have the enchanter. Wait, what? How did I do any of this? I didn't do any of this. I never added the ability. Oh, my God. Oh, I'm losing my mind over here. Oh, man, this usually doesn't happen. I can usually pay attention to 2 things at once. Not today, apparently. What am I doing? All right, so I click that. I'm not getting fallback items. Turns out should really meant shouldn't. And why is that? If it's none, set it to the fallback item. Huh. Did I not even rebuild? Oh, I never rebuilt. This is not good. Maybe we should get to playtesting sooner than I thought. I was working yesterday off stream and it was going very well. Stream's gone downhill. Yeah, I agree. All right, how's it going now? Nice. Okay, so we got our fallback items. But if I do this, they're not guaranteed to be fallback items. Yeah, we're getting other stuff now. Let's get some workers here to clean this up. Cool. Oh, there's a problem here. Oh, this is a very, very particular problem. If a worker is holding a crop and you don't have, if you don't have the farm, the pond, or the warehouse, the worker will never drop the crop because they have nowhere to put it. So as soon as I build this, a bunch are going to go walk over to the chef slime and dump their crops into there. Yeah. Okay, so we need to stop that from happening. The worker should just eat it. Well, so there are two options here. Option one is don't generate a crop if you can't use it. And option two is don't have a worker pick up a crop if there's nowhere to put it. I don't know which one sounds better because I think it's this one. If it's just don't have them pick it up, then you might generate crops and your worker would pick it up and put it in the warehouse. And then you'd have a warehouse full of crops that you can't do anything with. Yeah, so this is a bad idea. We should do this then. Just don't generate it if you can't use it. So if chef slime is not null, only generate a crop if it can be consumed. Otherwise, it can fill your warehouse or hold up workers. Guild supplies, you never have a problem because you always have the guild. Items, you never, sellable items, you never have a problem because you always have the shops. So it's just this. So then do we need to change this to say that you might not get the crop if you don't have the farm? There could be a note. It could be something like note you'll only get the crop if you have the chef slime. Yeah, it's pretty reasonable, right? Yeah, it's pretty reasonable. Color equals... How do we do this? Note color, that's what it is. And then pass in the note color. Man, yeah, I swear the autocomplete's gotten better. Normally, I wouldn't have known where this thing is pulled from. Where there's already a worker on the way with a crop and then you generate another one. I guess it will solve eventually when you harvest again. Worker on the way with a crop and then you generate another one. I don't think this scenario can happen. Like the only way to get crops before I commit this change was harvest from the farm. So if you had the farm, that means you had the chef slime and there was never a problem. So now with this commit, well, technically I just fixed the problem. But before I put this if statement here, you would have been able to get a crop without having a place to put it. And that on its own represented the issue. So we just put this if statement here, and now there shouldn't be a problem anymore. So it's either that I'm not understanding the question or that I just fixed the problem you're talking about. Or maybe by default I have some type of generic warehouse where items that can't be used for anything will be delivered. Player gets some kind of small bonus or something. I don't think challenge mode is about always getting benefits from things though. I think challenge mode is like sometimes you won't even be able to get the warehouse or you won't even be able to get the farm. And then these kinds of perks shouldn't hold you up. How much would it take to break the chef slime out to just always be present? That'd probably be pretty easy. And yeah, that was option number 3, which I had not thought of. Start the player with the chef slime so that there's a destination. This, well, I say probably would be kind of easy. I guess the the harder part would be that you could drag potions to the chef slime, but there'd be no destination for them to go. But I think option number 1 is fine here. It is just a tiny bit weird, I guess, that there's this note. You'll only get the crop if you have the chef slime. Also, we don't check to see which crops you've seen. We could. Yeah, we could. Do we track which crops you've seen? No, wait. It'd only be if you created them as items, and you don't always create them as items. It's only if they drop on the ground. So, no, this is fine. So we're going to generate crops you might not have gotten to, but that's okay. At most, it's 10 sludge. Plus bonuses. All right, so am I done with this? Have I finished? No, I haven't, because I have all this in town in unhandled input, right? This says grant 1 of each item. Does this even have to be here? What do we do with this? We call it add items, and add items is private, so I guess it does have to be here. Well, it could be another partial class or something like that. What do I want to call this function, though? This would be, what is it, instant loot? Grant instant loot. This grants 1 of each item type. Well, I shouldn't say 1 of each item type. This grants a weapon, armor, potion, crop, and guild supply. All right. And then we just have a cast spell on cast spell. Cast spell was cast. There it is. All right. Else if spell ID equals items and you've unlocked instant loot, grant instant loot. Perfecto. And then we just go over to here and type in instant loot. Okay. So what have I forgotten? Because I feel like I'm missing something. This technically isn't needed. But fine, whatever. That shouldn't be there. Yeah, the rest of that looks fine. We could put this in the... No, I think it's fine. Get rid of this and this. Get rid of probably this whole class, yeah. That's just a clarifying comment. And get random non-rare item of type. Yeah, that's pretty good. Wait, whoa, but we do this somewhere else. Is rare. Where do we do this? I've got to generate a random item somewhere, right? Oh, I see. It's very similar. Okay. I guess as long as we're doing this, let's convert this thing too. Anything else? No, that's it. Okay, let's go try it. So the way to test this now is in challenge mode. We got to find this new perk, which has like a 1 out of 60 chance or something of showing up. Do I already have it in the save file? I don't. All right, then let's go perk hunting. So we're looking for instant loot. Grant storage. Battle perk cost. Oh, darn it. There was. Oh, I missed it. I wanted to click that. Oh, there it is again. Nice. All right. Casting the shopping spree spell will instantaneously spawn several items from the portal. A weapon, a potion, an armor, a crop, and a guild supply. Note, you'll only get the crop if you have the chef slime. That could probably be made a little bit better. Casting, loot magnet. So here's what we have right now. And what if we changed it to instantaneously spawn a weapon, a potion, an armor, a crop, and a guild supply from the portal? Yeah, I think that's slightly better. All right. Okay, what are we doing? We are going to go get the enchanter now. We have not gotten the perk. That is intentional. We are not being offered the enchanter. That's not good. There it is. Cool. So I'm going to cast Loot Magnet and nothing will pop out of the portal. Perfect. Now we're going to speed this up and then go get that new perk. Instant loot. And then we're going to do the same thing. Click this spell. And now we do get items out of the portal. And there are grapes going over to the chef slime, who might critically cook it. Spicy. Nice. It's worth 11 sludge. That's actually pretty good. Oh no, that person wants a carrot now. They're trying to eat their vegetables. They can't do that though. Oh man. We need to stop that. Stop customers from wanting crops. Yeah. August 27th. This is like a month ago. They're using 4.1 instead of what? What were they using before this? Well, I guess they're using the Copilot one and they were just using 4.1 before that. Huh. Farming simulator shop. So the only way to get a crop, well, other than this thing, is to have an adventurer pick up a crop from the farm, then send them into battle before they can make it to the chef slime, and they'll walk to the portal and then drop their item. Which technically means that this was probably already a bug to begin with. Oh, and I know what's causing this problem. It's the desirable item thing I just changed. This code. This doesn't check to see if it's a crop. Wait, what? It's not called a crop? Food. So this is kind of stupid. We should just say, and data item category is inside shop item categories. All right, that is much nicer code. I can delete that stuff. All right, now the question is, do we call these guild supplies anywhere else? What does this say? I'll tell you how your treasure room works. Purchase a treasure chest by clicking on one of the stands. I will ask them nicely to open themselves. It does not tell you anything about guild supplies. What does it say when you hover over them? Bring this to the guild to power up the mage. What do we call? Oh yeah, guild supplies right there. Oh nice. Okay. So yeah, we can call it a guild supply. Okie dokie. So let's go look at the code and then check it in and then probably do a little bit of play testing. I'm actually really excited about these perks. I think these are really cool and I think they're pretty elegantly done. Because remember, the original idea was just something like duplicate some items in the warehouse. It's not bad. It's just not very elegant, I feel. So it was like you already would have needed an item. You would have probably needed the warehouse. You would have needed inventory space or else where would it go? And now it's like, let's spawn one of each item. We know that you're using loot magnet because you want loot. So let's give you loot. It's like, yes, that is what the player would want there. Oh, neat. Converted from a prime to a tier 1 sub. I will say this. It is still September. So if you were planning on subbing already, you can get a discount by subbing now, I guess. It's like the one time of year I think I'm actually going to subscribe to people. Alrighty. I like this. Yeah, a couple of semi-related changes here, but yeah, in general, add instant loot perk. All right, we are done with that. So how many perks have I added since I last tested this? Excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 3 are for the enchanter. One is for the recycler. And one is for getting rid of items. It said it would expire tomorrow, so I wanted a sub. But I guess it is really... I think you can still share the sub message tomorrow. I think it just lets people know when you've converted, because any monetization thing is worth Amazon sharing, probably. And Phil, thank you for resubbing. We're almost at 1 year. Save Jeffrey B some buckos. Yeah, wait, no, you cost him some buckos. But I thank you, because I am not Jeff Bezos. Happy 25 months. Thank you all for the support. And I gotta say, sorry, this story was about to start very strangely. I was eavesdropping on a conversation my wife was having with one of her friends. And her friend said something like, I really love my job. I look forward to going into work. And one, it's nice to see that kind of positivity. It's like people should be allowed to love their jobs, whatever it is they're working for. And I thought about my own situation. I really like what I do. And if it weren't for these identity crises that I have every once in a while of like, is the game going to be successful? I think I'd enjoy it a little bit more. But in general, I'm working on what I like in a set of circumstances that I enjoy. So like streaming, all of you being here. And what was the last part of this? Oh yeah, and solving interesting problems. I think a lot of game dev is kind of a slog. There are content parts like what we're doing today. It's not super interesting problems, right? Like what I just solved here was let's add some items into the game. But yeah, in general, I really, really enjoy this and I like the opportunity and it's cool to feel like I'm working towards something and that you all get to take part in this. What's the plural of this? Crises. 1 crisis, 2 crises. All right, so I do want to play test for a little bit. Add another spell for faux potions and then magical farming, which would do what? Grow crops faster. Yeah. Happier than before you had the crisis, I assume. Yeah, but they're recurring. That's the problem. So I solve identity crisis number 17 and then get to number 18 later. And then solve that and get to number 19. They probably are getting better with time. It's just like Rufus coming around. All you need is 100% wishlist to sale conversion. You'll enjoy game dev. Yeah, I am looking forward to seeing what each batch of playtesting does for the game. All right, let's play. But the way you pronounce a plural sounds more like crises. Crises sounds like crisis. Yeah, that is the pronunciation, crises. I think there's probably a thing here, yeah. Well, this is for crisis. I don't know how to get Bing to understand that that's not the word I typed. Apparently Google doesn't either. Well, at least has a plural there. Anyway, let's go start a new run. New game. We can't go beyond this? That's not good. I want to go beyond. I want my power level to be over 9,000. Highest difficulty level unlocked, 20. Try and stop me, game. English makes 0 sense. English has words from a lot of different languages and a lot of different structures. So as an example, the plural of deer is deer. I don't know why that's funny to me. That is true. All right, so what does this start with? 2 extra adventurers. All starting adventurers are given 3 free battle perks. They regenerate health slower, and they cost even more. Let's try this. I don't want to get any perks other than the quick move menu. Yeah, that should probably tell you how many perks you have. Okay, so here we are in the game. Turn this up a little bit. So we already have 3 level 4 characters. So let's just send them all into here. It says an adventure costs 25. That can't be right. No, that can't be right. Hang on a second. What's going on there? I'll just write this down for now. Observations. Adventuring mode doesn't actually seem to apply a plus 50 gold fee for adventurers. The first is 25 and the second is 50. All right, so let's not play that one because it's going to be too easy. This one is just start with a ton of workers, which will also probably be too easy. I guess we only really have this as a choice then, huh? Start with a farm, most of the farm first. Yeah, let's do it. All right. Get to it. Go battle. You. Go battle. And then... yeah, let's let them get some loot for a bit. Actually, I'll build something, sure. Let's get the Enchanter's Den now that I know that it's way more powerful. Oh yeah, I have the quick move menu. So I can just spam stuff. That goes... wait, no, I don't have the quick move menu? Oh, I didn't put it on. Oh man. Whatever. I messed that up. Oh, hey, they want a blue potion. Might as well. That frees up a customer. Hopefully they're not all going there. Good, they're not. Which frees you up to get your potion. Oh, I never coded the thing where customers won't want crops. Yeah, that's got to be done. No, I did do that. Never mind. I coded that. I hope. Do we have space up here? No, we don't. Do we have space over here? No, we don't. 1 carrot. All right, let's get a perk. Ooh. Okay, this is interesting. I'm going to pause, and we're going to look at this perk. Casting shopping spree will cause all customers to immediately purchase a nearby item from a shop if they can. This is not as good as just max customers. Enemy stats are lower. I'm going to go with max customers. But before I do that, let's dump all of these things in here. Can't grab that item there. Did it just say it was full with 2 empty slots? It should have, yeah. Because I'm trying to drag an item to it. And it can't accept a new one. That's what it means by full, not that it's fully upgraded. Ooh, battle perk. Ooh, a character I actually have. And a very, very good upgrade to the point where I'm actually going to restart this battle. Because I think they're going to go slightly faster. Hey, they want a bow. Nice. Alright, so how long are they taking to win? 10 seconds, and how long are you taking? 11 seconds? Okay, Warrior's pretty good right now. Just took 1 upgrade. There we go. Ooh, that's a good upgrade. Let's get another character. I'm gonna go with a paladin. Let's try him out. Why not? Why not upgrade them? I'm gonna double loot, although it's probably a bad idea. I just need potions. I guess we have room for the armor up there. Oh, they're not even fighting anymore? Alright, let's send them all into here. Come on, zap them. Good. Cool. Another perk. Sure. That's pretty good. Oh, I'm going to take cloning. I like that. All right, let's get this. Yeah, nice. We need a little bit more loot. I don't have the mana for this. This is okay, but I don't have any other characters. I'm going to go with that. The Archer one was pretty nice, though. Might have been tempting to get that. Yeah, this is going pretty well so far. I'll go for more customers. Alright, let's get more loot. Nope, I don't think I did it in time. I don't think it would have mattered anyway. Hey, they want a yellow potion. I just got rid of all of those. No idea what's going on in this game anymore. I am happy to explain. So we're in challenge mode. The goal is to get 2,500 gold and ideally do it fast enough. So it's still the regular game. We're just doing it using a bunch of random choices instead of predetermined choices that you get to pick from a perks board. So like when I click battle perks here, I can buy a perk, but then I'm presented with 3 random choices and they're not even all for characters I have. So like I don't have the golem, but I have these other 2. So I can look through the stats and see which one of these is best. And I think in this case it'd be this one. And I actually have enough to buy another one of these. And I'm going to get the warrior again. Then I can get a town perk, same general idea. We get these randomized sets of choices. And these I'm not super happy with. I could re-roll if I want to, but I'm going to go for shiny loot there. Oh my goodness, look at all this. Look at all this loot. Could use a meta perk to click a customer that is seeking an item to get them to seek something else. I like them seeking items though. Also, I think if we ever make you click a customer or a worker that they sometimes move so fast, it might be very difficult to target the right person. We could use another worker. Actually, we could just use another building. Let's get the warehouse, sure. Oops. Oh, well, that's filled. I guess let's make customers move. I don't have the mana. I need mana. I'm gonna reroll. Yeah, let's get cloning. I really like cloning. Alright, battle perk. We can afford a few of these. That's really good. The mage is just a powerhouse. We need 2 more potions. I should probably hire another adventurer. They sniped it. They now got it. Yeah. I was just keeping an eye to make sure that someone got it at some point. But I wasn't looking very closely at how it happened. Alright, we got another worker. We need some space. That's exactly what I just asked for. Great. Look at that. Dump those in there. Alright, upgrade these. Rage level 1, yes. Yes, okay, good. Alright, so now we should probably get this and dump all our yellow potions in there. I also want customers to go faster. Rigged, I know. It knows that I made the game and I could unmake it. Battle perk cost -7. Garbage slime will automatically eat an item from the warehouse when it max hunger. Yes. Take. I now just need the garbage slime. Hey, you want a cloak? I got one of those. Oh, we're done on the potions now. There's so many weapons here. Not enough people want them. It's rare that I have that problem. None of these are great. And I don't want to hire someone new soon, so let's just hold off on this for now. But I do want to build the garbage slime, because it's going to automatically eat stuff from the warehouse. Which is probably bad to wait for. Unless we can, like, super upgrade him. Yeah, I want to hire another adventurer next. Or build the treasure room. Either one of those would be fine. But these need to go to the next location now, so let's turn this off. Yeah, send you over to the jungle. Oh, they might not be able to win. I really need another adventurer. We're kind of close to getting there. 75? Yeah, we're 12 away. That's not too bad. Oh, my camera's flipping out. Nice. Just ate 1 dagger. 3 gold is all I need. I'm just going to get it myself there. Done. Okay, let's get the rogue. They're winning. They're going to win even more now. They're the winningest team I've ever seen. Let's make customers move faster. They want stuff I don't have. It's not okay, townsfolk. Yeah, it's still better to just manually feed the slime. It's at least nice to not always have to do it. There's a boot. Hey, nice. Yeah, so I should probably go find those items pretty soon. And hire another adventurer. Did I? I'll just get one of these. Well, which one looks best? Frenzy. That's pretty good. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll definitely take this. That's all very powerful. Oh, hey, they got a pumpkin. Why do they have a pumpkin in their hand, though? How could that have happened? How could that have happened? I don't have hardworking adventurers, right? What? Hey, TJ. I don't know how that could have happened. Huh. I'm nearly positive I saw that correctly, too. You have this potion that was 5 minutes ago. If they wanted an antidote, I think my skeleton would be sympathetic. But they want some random other potion, a yellow potion. Let's do this. I guess we're getting these potions anyway. So now I'm getting too many armor items. I guess we have a lot of things I'm waiting on here. That's pretty good. Let's build... No, I'll just get some town perks. Free treasure chests. Okay, now I'm building. Treasure room. Done. Yeah. I don't have any way of using all this loot. I wonder if we should make the jungle drop less loot. Because what am I supposed to do with this? Time to go to bed? Enjoy the rest of your day? Especially 2:51 p.m. It's already 2:52. How was I supposed to know to enjoy that without you telling me? I hope you sleep well. I hope you had oatmeal tonight and then it sits well in your stomach. And you're not like Skeleseller with a hurt tummy at 3 in the morning. Whoops, I almost clicked that. Wow, the double clicking protection helped me. I saw it try to click the button. Okay, these should be just wrecking this place now. So I got the free treasure chest. It should spawn pretty soon. There's no timer showing for that. I think I just want more perks. That's one of the best ones. That is also pretty good. That is also really good. There was employee discount, though. I really want to mess around with that. I think that would be fun. You're going to read it late? All right, take care. Hopefully see you tomorrow. I should probably hire another adventurer now. But even with all these customers and even being able to make them move faster, there's still just too many armor items. Makes me want more town perks. There it is, employee discount. Nice. All right, so now whenever a worker picks up an item, there's a 6% chance they just buy it right off the ground. Or from the warehouse. Has not procced. Has not procced. Still hasn't procced. Is it going to? Still so far, no. More man, that's pretty good. Impulse buying. Casting shopping spree will cause them all to... Yeah, let's do that. Now let's click shopping spree when there are customers up here. Oh, nice. That person just bought one off the... Or the worker did. All right, watch this. Shopping spree. We got rid of 3 items immediately. That is very good. Wow. Yeah, that is a great upgrade. I like it. All right, let's get another adventurer and start working toward the fishing pond. We should have another free chest spawning pretty soon. They're like 100 seconds apart or something. Wow, this really helped. Also, this makes this spell more desirable. I like that a lot. Yeah, they like cleared out the armor shop. Who would have thought? All right, what did I say I want? The fishing pond? Got it. Okay, send them to the next location. There's no way they're struggling there. I haven't been paying attention. But yeah, they're winners. And we send winners to the waterways, where they can exterminate slightly different creatures. I want to cast Shopping Spree again. How cool that was. More mana. We have enough to do it. Are you ready? Blam. Pull 3 of them. So cool. Alright, I've almost maxed out. Oh, I have maxed out all my potions there. Garbage slime is always at least somewhat hungry. I don't think I need that this run. Alright, what I do need is for the archer to go over here. I'm going to type it here. Is there a way to fix pasted bulleted lists in Obsidian, ending up with a blank line between them? Yeah, I think Hash is right. Control-Shift-B should do it. So the archer could use a little bit of love, but not a lot. You have to be careful. Ooh, I want that. Now I need money. How close am I to winning? This has been pretty fun. A lot happening. Probably should not have gone for this upgrade. Also, I haven't been watching the workers, but every time they go to pick up an item, there's a chance that they just buy it right off the ground or from the warehouse. But it's a very tiny chance of that. Oh, nice. It happened there. Yeah, that's very cool. And we're getting these. And they've got, well, the left chest has stuff I need. The right one has nothing I need. Fish give gold, instant loot. Casting Shopping Spree will instantaneously spawn a bunch of stuff. Oh, I really want to try that. Okay, let's try it. I don't need it right now. Maybe if we get another worker in here. I'd like to expand my warehouse. Okay, we're getting that. Okay, let's cast instant loot. Nice. We got a grape. I wonder if you can quick move those. I should probably look into that. This is decent. This is way better. We can probably send them to the next location too. Is it still running? It is. Oh, look at that. There we go. Got another worker. Yep, I just bought something off the ground. One man's trash. Let's get another adventurer. And then we need to upgrade the fishing pond or something because it can't hold all the fish that are in there. We also could use some keys. Let's dump some of those. Oh, a drop multiplier. I get 8 items now. This is fantastic. Wow. Pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. In fact, let's get the customer thing. They just bought everything from the shops immediately. So great. This is awesome. What did I want next? I wanted the fishing pond thing. Crops give 96% more sludge. Yes. Okay, yeah. This is kind of crazy. Let's just upgrade my main party. They're already stupidly powerful. Can I get max fish, please? Battle per cost reduced by 17. Yes. So it went down from 120 to 103. That's actually not too crazy, but I guess it's 17 off of every single perk. Oh, nice. I wasn't expecting that. Well, I want to keep playing because I want to see where this is going. Yeah, I want to fish all this stuff up. Did I get fish cost or fish give gold? No. I think I was offered it, but didn't go for it. I don't remember. All right, time to make them all buy stuff again. It's so great. And it really does cut through how many items you have. Expanded warehouse, that's what I wanted. I also wanted the fishing pond thing. More fish. More treasure sands is really nice. That probably filled immediately. It should get a chest pretty soon, I think. Yeah, there it is. Nice. This stuff's all really good too. Enemy power and health minus 19%. But let's re-roll until I get the thing that I wanted. I'm not finding it. Oh god. Alright, I'll just take flimsy fish, I suppose. Going to slowly get ready for bed? Alright, take care. Thanks for being here. Man, I can't get the thing that I want. I guess get enemy stat multiplier. So now fish should have almost no life, which means I don't even need to send other adventurers into battle. I have no reason to keep playing this one, but like I said, it is fun to try out these new abilities. I want the archer to finish this up. So much loot. I'm gonna get even more. Warehouse garbage slime. Huh. Yeah, you can't send it to the chef slime. Should probably write that down. When holding a crop, the chef slime should show as a quick move menu target rather than the garbage slime. Casting Stocking Frenzy causes all mature crops to be harvested, and they're worth 100% more sludge. Okay, let's try this. Let's get well water if we can. We can't. That's okay. Also, I have a ton of keys. My goodness. Okay, so I'm going to click this, and it's going to harvest all those crops. I'm at 253 sludge. It went up to 425. Oh, man. All right, yeah, these new perks are pretty cool. Oh, right, and this could make me cast multiple spells at once. Wow, I didn't think the enchanter would end up being fun. I didn't think there was as much that I could do there. No, we're full up on keys. My workers aren't even moving that stuff because there's too much going on here. And I'm at max mana pretty much again. They can't. I think it's because these are fighting too fast. Yeah, they're winning in 8 seconds. All right, let's just turn this off for a sec. Because I want to see them actually apply these keys. Yeah. They're picking stuff up. Let's do that. They should just buy stuff off the ground, too. I want to max out that perk and see how it feels. Free guild supplies. Man, there's so much cool stuff now. I like this quite a lot. All right, make the adventurers pick some things up. Okay, they bought something there. New town perk. Well water, yeah, sure. Okay, send these back into battle, but I guess over here. And use a loot magnet, and by using it now, I immediately get stuff. And if I cast this too... Man, nice. Oh, that... Crazy. Cut this out. Cut the archer out. Go back in with everybody. They should be totally destroying fish now. Like, I don't think the fish have really much life. It's taking them longer than I would have thought. I wonder if I messed up the enemy stat multiplier thing. Did I? Maybe I did. Enemy stat multiplier. Multiplier goes 1 minus this. No, I don't think so. I think it's just that enemies... No, enemies have more power, though. Yeah, I think something's wrong. What does it say? Enemies do 125% damage. Is that actually what happens? Enemies do. It's power multiplier. Yes, something's off. What does this do? New fish health. New fish health. There it is. Whimsy fish. Oh, 95. Never mind. I thought that was 45. All right, so all the crops are there. I'm going to click this. It harvests every single one of them immediately. Gives me a boatload of money. Let's turn this off. I want to get... Oh, I'm always hungry, is there? That's pretty good. Employee discount. I like that one. So I'll buy more things from the warehouse. 12% chance. It's like 1 out of 8. So cool too. Now let's buy another couple chests. Just get rid of these. This is great. This is really great. Yeah, so I didn't look at the windscreen, but I guess it would have saved my file. No, but it wouldn't save. Oh, darn it, because we keep playing. And I don't have the metric server running. No such table runs? What? What? That's not good. That's definitely not good. What is it doing? That's why this has been failing? I wonder if I just close this down and then it's not going to matter. I can't load the game anymore. But let's try it. So I'm going to clear this. And it won't clear. Oh, there it is. And then I'm going to start a new run. And I'm going to immediately end it. Error processing, no such table runs. Yeah, weird. That's very weird. Why is that happening? Tools, metric server, metrics DB. 0 bytes? Ooh, that's especially bad. All right, I guess let's delete the metrics DB. What's responsible for creating it, though? Server.py. Init database. Execute create table if not exists. Okay, so we got to restart the server. I don't know how that happened. All right, so there, now it should work. Now if I start a new run and finish it, yeah, 200, which is success. Okay, well, whatever. I guess I won't be able to look at how many perks I had. Admin database issues. Hey, Revrox. Revrox, you're here like twice a year now. And you gotta remember the database issues. Well, I could look at the VOD and see how many town perks I had. I actually kind of want to do that. So let's do that really fast. See how many town perks I had. So how long ago was it? I guess I could just scroll back until I see that the goal is not at 100. Come on. Come on. Oh, there we go. All right, so it should happen very shortly. There. I had 33 town perks. 33 town perks. It felt like there were more that I wanted, which is nice because that's what's going to introduce some run variety. Like I built toward a certain thing and it ended up helping. The new perks were also pretty cool. I still felt like I had too many items though. And I wonder if what we need to do is increase the power of enemies or the life of enemies or something like that. Because battles are finishing very quickly. Where's my balance section here? Yeah. I did a farming run on this where I ended with 33 town perks. I was beating locations so quickly though that I had tons and tons of loot. I feel like there should be slightly more thought that goes into where to fight. Maybe battle perks are too strong, or it's just that I was on farming mode. I'm not sure. Because that was too easy. I won in what, like 6 minutes before the gold medal. Man. Yeah. Well, I think these will help too. And then I think we should spend Thursday doing as many of these as we can and then move on from that and cover, what do we have? I don't know about these bundles of twists yet. I don't know if we need to do that. Code specific challenges. Maybe we add some more challenges in. And then just do balancing on Friday. Polish. Yeah. Okay, so Thursday, we're going to do morning. Is going to be add as many perks as possible. And Friday, the goal is going to be launch a playtest version. So get through the rest of the list, but skip new perks. Just get difficulty levels and work on balancing. Trying to think here. There's so many different ways this could have gone. Sorry, I didn't make that clear. Meta perks. I don't think there's going to be time to revamp these. I can make you get perk points faster. But in terms of these being more interesting, any individual one, like, they probably won't be. And some are probably overpowered, and some are probably very good depending on the mode you're in. I don't know. We'll have to just keep messing around with this stuff. How would I slow the game down more? I think one of the problems is, I don't know, I'll think about this later. I think my brain is fried. Yeah, all right, let me go find someone to raid. Let's raid cheer for you. Lunchtime. I am probably gonna go get some food. All right, it's been a good stream. It's been very productive. Honestly, I'm more hopeful than I was a couple days ago about challenge mode. So we got to keep hoping we're on the right track. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow. It should be just a morning stream. So let's say hi to Sphere for you. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the support. And see you later.